Rue, I see you. Die hard. Trap. We gonna do this one the right way. We in here forever. Yeah. Die hard. Homie, die hard. You can check the swag, he the realest by far. Swimming in that blue and orange, he the lifeguard. Yeah, he been through pain, at least he got some nice scars. He can smell the trophy, yeah, you need it back to back. Represent himself, his own name is on his back. 10 toes down, try to stop him, he come back. Bandwagon hoppers, he will knock you off your tracks. You ain't saying nothing, Nero been here from the start. He been working in the lab to take his team and make it art. See him going over film to help him build and make him smart. He will tell you how he feels because he's real and he got heart. He will never fade away, he will never change his face. Everybody picking faves, and he's feeling out of place. Cause he is for the team, and he always rep the squad. Like that Christmas movie, he gon' always die hard. City on my back. They ask me what's my name, and it's on my back. I'm just speaking facts. We got big dreams, we ain't looking back. We be really die hard, yeah, that's a fact. We be really die hard, ain't no going back. Make the whole crowd rise like a thermostat. Fourth quarter, I'm the killer that's gonna murder that.
Bow, 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 bow. What's good, man? It's your boy Eve Rule, host of the Knicks podcast, doing the midday thing on Monday. So there's midday madness, midday mayhem, Monday, midday, whatever, die hard on the midday, whatever you want to say. I just have a little bit of time here to get these bars off, on my day off. Got a lot of errands and stuff to do. My wife is mad at me. The kids are acting up in school. Bunch of things I had to do today. Went to the gym. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that's trying to get themselves together in 2023. Yo, listen, it hasn't snowed. So let me say that again. It has not snowed yet in January. At least in New York City, it has not snowed. So that has not been the case. I Googled it. You can Google it yourself. Maybe you can find some information. Since 1973, that hasn't happened. So since 1973, there hasn't been a January where it didn't snow a little bit. At least maybe a little dusting or something, but there might have been snow in the forecast, but nothing actually accumulated at all out there, man. So this is a very rare winter where we don't get where we haven't had snow in January. So if you hadn't had an opportunity to get out there and work out and get out and about and get moving, then you just wasted a whole month, because right now it's January 30th. So we're entering February. February, I'm expecting us to get bombed, because it didn't snow not once in January. So February probably going to get bombed. So, it's all about opportunities in life, man. You know what I'm saying? You seize opportunities to get yourself better and things of that nature. Which the conversation brings up the fact here with the trade front here. So it's February trade deadline, I believe, is February 10th. So we're approaching it very fast, man. It's January 30th, like I said. February 10th is, I'm not good at math, but it's like 11 days away. So that's less than 2 weeks away from all the stuff here, man. So let me check out Andy, man. And Andy here is in Poland. So Andy usually pops on if I'm on midday, but he's busy doing something. I'm always doing things last minute. I literally just posted this at like 1:20, but I've been thinking about it all day. So I, want to get these little bars out here. So he's in Poland, like I said. He said snowstorm today at my spot again. When it snows in Poland over there, it's like snowing in, say, like Virginia or something like that, where they just don't plow. So if you get stuck on a hill, you're just dead out there in Poland. From what Andy explains, man. So he said trade deadline is the 9th. So even worse, man. So we're talking about 10 days away. No, it's still 11 days. I'm not good at math, right? 11 is 31 days in January, and then 9 days after. So you're talking about 10 days. 10 days to the trade deadline, man. So 10 days to get a six-pack. You're not going to get a six-pack in 10 days. You know what I'm saying? But you have to work on it. And if you stay with me and listen to me and did whatever, you'll probably be on the road to fitness, But that's for another conversation for another time. Let's get into what Andy was talking about, man. So this is what Andy put up to all the NBK fam here, and basically everybody shot him down. Whoever responded shot him down. But not for nothing, the trade is ridiculous. I gotta say, Andy. But the concept of it is not so bad. So I mean, this is the full trade for those that can see it there. He basically put Jay Crowder and Miles Bridges. These are two players that's been out there in Nick rumors. So I understand why he used those two guys. But he just used, for example, the different players here. He used Evan Fournier, Cam Reddish, Obi Toppin, and Emmanuel Quickly, and 2 first-round picks. So listen, we all know the Knicks have these extra picks from Detroit and Dallas that are all protected and stuff like that. You got Emmanuel quickly, who's like our hottest player right now off the bench. Everybody wants him. Obi Toppin is another guy, along with Cam Reddish. We just don't use them properly. So other teams are looking to get their hand on those players too. And Evan Fournier too, man. Even though he makes 8 million, it's gonna be $18 million a year. He doesn't play defense. He's still one of the elite 3 point shooters in the NBA. So he has 3 year contract, not the best contract, but when it comes to skill level and stuff like that, it's still somebody that teams would want. Now, say like Phoenix, if they get rid of Mikal Bridges, they're gonna want a shooter back, man. So they already got several guys on their team that can fill Mikal Bridges' spot. So Evan Fournier could be that 3 point shooter coming off the bench. They can upgrade somebody and make them a starter because they've been doing that all year. With all the various injuries that they had this year, man. So the one thing about Phoenix, I gotta say, throughout the history, even when they had Steve Nash there, they always are recycling their roster because they're notoriously cheap. Even go back further, even back before that, when they got Charles Barkley, they didn't want to spend the money to help Charles Barkley out. Charles Barkley, through playing the best basketball of his career at the time, he's the one that put Phoenix on their back and made them go to the NBA Finals. But once they faced Michael Jordan and stuff like that, they realized that they didn't have enough firepower to withstand a team like that, defensively and things of that nature. Dan Marley broke down. I believe they had Tony Dumas on their team. They had to go call KJ, because KJ I think retired if I'm not mistaken, or he was hurt, something like that. KG had to come back in there. So they really was playing nickel and diming, during the time when that was their best chance to win a championship. So I mean, for right now, Phoenix is they got Chris Paul making a lot of money. Not for nothing, Mikal Bridges' contract is pretty big too. 4 years, he's making $21 million now. So that's a pretty big deal there. Like I said, they have young guys on their roster that can fill in those spots. So I'm thinking that they're trying to get some value players. Like Cam Reddish is a value player, Obi Toppin is a value player. Quickly as well. Quickly is also a value player. So this is just an idea. It's not something that I personally want to do, or maybe not even what Andy personally wants to do, but it's just a conversation to get that out there. Shout out to once again to Steve Nash era. Remember when they had whatever plays that they had, they kept trading guys. They went and got Tim Thomas. They went and got a couple other guys too, just to keep recycling. So they won't have to pay nobody. That's what Phoenix has been. They've been doing that since the beginning. They went and got Tom Chambers. Remember that? They didn't want to really build around him. So I mean, you can just go throughout the history. This is the history of the Phoenix Suns. They're in Phoenix for Christ's sake. Nothing else to do out there except enjoy the warm weather. There's no beaches and nothing like that. It's Vegas and stuff. Just the scenery and things of that nature, excursions, and just really like high life living, kind of just like relaxing. That's really the space that Phoenix is. Nothing really going on there. So there's not a lot of income. There's not a lot of things happening in the area. So for a team like Phoenix to maintain, like say, the revenue and stuff like that, to maintain high salary roster, they just don't have it. So that's just the background story with Phoenix, man. But they're trying to get rid of Jay Crowder. Jay Crowder hasn't played all year. He's not hurt or nothing. He just took himself out of the equation. Like I said, Mikal Bridges is he's really a role player. Over kind of not really. I want to say overpaid, but he's kind of like he's kind of overpaid role player. But he's probably like the best role player in the entire NBA. One thing that the Knicks need, as far as roster is concerned, is guys that are proven winners. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't won an NBA championship, but it's the Brunson connection. He won championships in college with Brunson. So that's the connection there. So I really believe that in between the lines, I think there's something connected here between Mikal Bridges and the Knicks, because the Knicks want to bring some of these guys in here that what's the name, Brunson is familiar with, and I think the Knicks possibly could win because we need steady players. We have too many erratic players, so adding a Mikal Bridges, somebody that can defend the three and the two, like legit could play those two positions. He can knock down the three at a high clip. He could drive. He could run the floor. He's like a Kerry Kittles kind of player in that regard. Except with the small ball in the NBA, he's going to play a lot of small forward too. So I really like Mikal Bridges. Adding him to the roster, I think that will help us a lot. Is Grimes ready for that yet? Ready for that starting spot? Night in and night out. Even though he's had his 30-point games, he had his 20-point games. Night in, night out, Grimes is looking for help. He's never taken anything into his own hands where he can create his own shot and stuff like that. Mikal Bridges is not the biggest shot creator, but at least Mikal Bridges could be a plus player out there offensively. Always going to give you an even 15 points per game, just about 14, 15 points per game almost every single night. His stats are going to be consistent every single night. So that's one thing the Knicks need. We need that consistency. in that starting lineup. So I mean, adding him to Julius, adding him to Brunson. I'm not really going to say RJ too much because I'm going to throw a little wrench in this conversation at the end of the podcast. But this is my thought process here. So I mean, money wise, you have to get it to work. So that's why Evan is there, Cam, Obi. So I mean, quickly is the only thing that's triggering here because I can get rid of that Dallas pick. I can get rid of that Detroit Pistons pick as well because they're protected picks. The only thing troubling here is Emmanuel quickly because Obi Toppin, we're not using him. Cam Reddish, we're not using him either. And Fournier, we're not using him. So we got three players that we're not using. The only player that's really troubling is the Emmanuel quickly thing. So I mean that could be circumvented. I don't know who else we could stick into that spot. Like I said, Quentin Grimes can go in that spot for Christ's sake. There's another option out there. That we will have to have that conversation. I'm gonna look at the Knicks payroll right here before I get into the next topic. You got Brunson at 27, Julius at 23. Uh, we can go ahead. Let's look at the next year. Brunson is 26. Brunson is actually on the descending contract. So Julius is on. He making 25. Evan Fournier still making 18 next year. Mitchell Robinson 15 on the descending contract. Dirk Rose will more than likely be off the team next year. RJ finally starts his extension, which is 23 million, and it goes up. Hartenstein makes 8, and the rest of the guys are basically player options, right? Yeah, no, oh, excuse me. All these are team options. Obi has a team option. Quickly, Grimes. All these guys have team options. So it makes me wonder. So, 'cause I'm looking at let's do that. Team options is 4 2. So that's $12 million in team options. Add Miles McBride, who also is a 1.8. So basically that's 13, and then Jericho Sims is like non-guaranteed that year. It's wow, man. So that's 2, 4, 6, 12. That's about $18 million in just contract money that's going to be gone. That possibly could be gone, and I'm quite sure the Knicks are thinking that way. So I'm making a trade for Mikal Bridges, whether people don't like it or not. The whole process here is for us to win that championship. So does Emmanuel quickly going to be there to help us win a championship? It's possible. It's possible, but at the same time, what do we need on this roster? That's the question, and that we need to answer. We need stability out there. And like I said, we have a lot of salary that's just open because I just mentioned shit, man. I just mentioned what did I say? Basically $14 million in salary here between these young guys, and then I didn't mention Dirk Rose and Fournier, who together Dirk Rose you're talking about 14 and 18. That's 28. That's 32. So you got 32. What's 32 plus 14, guys? You know what I'm saying? That's $46 million worth of salary that's just blown up to oblivion. So making a trade like this, if you're going to take on the salary and stuff like that, now it starts to make a little bit of a little bit of sense. It makes a little bit of sense from the Knicks standpoint because we could take on the Mikal Bridges contract. We can take on a $10 million Jay Crowder contract as well, and still be chilling. And still be chilling. Still have the leeway to make moves down the line to continuously improve this roster. So it's something to think about. And I'm not saying that this is going to happen because this is content creating. That's what makes me mad about this stuff here. When people say stuff like that, people get so mad. Oh, you think that's gonna happen? You think that's gonna happen? Blah 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 blah. No, comment. Take it down a notch. This is content. This is just us having a conversation about sports, whether you think it's true or not. It's just a conversation to ponder as the trade deadline comes along here, man. So I think all this is interesting. Before I get into the next subject, let me say what's up to everybody, man. I'm here on the midday. I'm thinking I'm gonna try to do this every Monday. I'm usually off Monday, but usually when I say that, then all of a sudden I'm not off Monday for the next 4 months and shit. But right now I'm off Monday right now. So in the midday, after getting things done in the morning, there's a little bit of time for me to get open, like around this time, like 1:30, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, where I can come on and do like a midday show, man. So tune in for that. Possibly Mondays I'll be able to knock down the show around this time here, man. So we'll see how that goes. Right now, that's what I'm tentatively telling you guys, man. So look out for me on Mondays when your boy's off. If I'm not doing anything, we'll see what we got going on here. Once again, shout out to Andy, man. We got Cormegas here. Your afternoon show, man. What's good, man? Hope you guys are doing good here at work. If you guys are off too, or whatever you guys are doing, hope you guys are having a good day today. You got Kareem Grant. What's good, man? Yeah, I'm off today. I'm always on this computer. I love this shit, man. I know you guys know that about me. I freaking love this podcast. I love talking Nick. Shout out to Wonder Woman. Yep. We got Wonder Woman here. Who else we got here? MIG. What's good, my man? He said it's not going to happen, my brother, till Dolan. That's selling your team nonsense, man. He's not selling the team, bro. Listen, you got. I'll talk about this briefly because I talked about it already in one of the last podcasts. Which please look at those guys. I'm starting to put more content out, man. So I expect the numbers to go up a little bit. But the last podcast, I believe I talked about Dolan or whatever. It did okay, and then the podcast I did the other day did all right too, man. So please get out there, support. Pay attention. You know what I'm saying? Hit subscribe and all this other stuff. But listen, Dolan is a billionaire. So listen, do you know what it takes to become a billionaire? No, probably not, right? But if you use your imagination, becoming a billionaire, I think you would have to be like a scum. You would have to be borderline scum of the earth in order to become a billionaire because you have to be heartless when it comes to a lot of things, man. Then once you make the money for a little while, then you have the money. Now it's just about you having fun. Take a look at this guy from Dallas, the Mark Cuban. He made his money and stuff like that. To get his money, he had to do whatever he had to do to get it. Now that he has it, this guy he's never not smiling. Even when he looks like he's upset, he's still smiling because once you got all that money, you could do anything that you want to do. So like, what I'm trying to say is it's a different kind of perspective. So now this guy was born into money. So Dolan's been born into money. He's also increased the value of not just his company, but just the name Dolan has increased as time has gone on. You know what I'm saying. So this is the mentality of a guy there. This is something that that's beyond business. This is something that's beyond getting profit. Because like I'm trying to say, you guys, once you become a billionaire, what is profit to you? You already could buy anything that you want to buy, and you could buy people out. You know, you know what I'm saying. So I mean, to get money from something like these guys are rich already. Like when he was talking about the liquor license, when it came to the facial recognition stuff, um, what is getting money from liquor license from selling drinks and stuff like that. Him selling drinks, he's not a bartender, he's a billionaire. So what's a billionaire to like a drink, a $10, $15 drink at the games. These guys piss out that money. You know what I'm trying to say? So, it is what it is, man. So that's the mentality. So, like, if you was a billionaire, and like I said, I painted that picture. If you did whatever you need to do to get that money, and now once you had that money for all these years, your entire life, right now, would you sell the Knicks? I'm quite sure that he's been a Knicks fan his entire life. He just so happens that he owns the team due to his father and stuff like that. Would you sell the team? If your dad owned the Knicks, whatever, and he loved the Knicks and he passed it on to you because you know that you love that you would take care of it and stuff like that, and all the stuff that Dolan's been through all this whole tenure, spending money, wasting money, and this type of thing, do you think he's going to sell the team? Why would he sell the team? Like, why would he sell the team? Unless they catch him doing something really off the wall where they force him to give up the team, and I think that's not going to happen either. So let's keep it progressing here, man. Let me scroll down here. Cam Johnson is the guy I was thinking about on Phoenix. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Andy, man. Cam Johnson is the guy, the second wing that absolutely could replace Mikal Bridges right now. Like I'm saying, this is how Phoenix has been doing traditionally throughout their tenure, their existence, is that they always been looking for the bargain basement player. They never stick with guys too long. They always they do a little bit of a bubble, and then as soon as they have an opportunity to move somebody up into the starting spot and get rid of the higher price player for more assets to keep flipping down the line, they'll do that. So Cam Johnson is the reason why they would do that, man. So Damian Cox is here. Shout out to Geraldine. Big Geraldine in the place to be. Yeah, I'm looking at your response there. The donor stuff. Jarrell is here too. We got Mr. Gideon. Just want to say what's up. The Terrence Mosley is always here, man. Shout out to Terrence Mosley. If Cam don't be traded, the Knicks gonna be a terrible organization. Yeah, if Cam is not traded or whatever you're trying to say, I get you. Let me scroll down, make sure ADC the zombie is here. Yeah, I know my man is working. What day is today? Today's Monday. Yeah, I think you're usually working here now, man. So this is midday. Everybody's working at this time. Scroll down. You got Dope Soul. What's good? Dope Soul is here, and she did tell me she would be in the chat. Yeah, I'm just getting these bars off real quick. Harlem CEO before I get up out of here. I want to say what's up to y'all before we get out of here. All right, enough of that romper room and friend stuff, man. Let's get into the next topic. It's the Bucks. So this is Shams, who I don't like anymore. Shams used to be like just like Woj. They were like parallel to each other. But now Shams is starting to get more into tabloid stuff, especially when it comes to coverage of the Knicks. It's usually the reports that Sham posts are never solid. If you pay attention to what Woj posts, Woj only posts stuff that's solid. He doesn't post anything that has to do with tabloid and conversations and stuff like that. So Shams is more becoming more of a tabloid kind of guy. So you got to read what he says within a grain of salt. But this rumor has been something that I've been seeing pumped around, not just by Shams, but even by our own beat writers. Shout out to my man from SNY. I can't think of money's name right now. But anyway, this he says the Bucks' current offer is Jordan Norwa, George Ibaka, George Hill, 2 second-round picks for Crowder. Excuse me. Crowder makes $10 million. So when you talk about salary, right, this fits right into $10 million because Serge and George Hill actually could be traded straight up for Cam because Cam makes like 5 point something million. I have those salaries up here, man. So take a look at Cam. Cam makes 5.9, so basically $6 million. So if you look at the salary, let's do that. Let's do the Bucks here. So if you look at the salary here for the Bucks, like I said, Cam Reddish he makes 5.9, right? So you take a look at with Surge. Surge makes $1.8 million here, as you can see it here in the bottom of the screen here. Let me get Harlem CEO out of here. Sorry about that, Harlem. So we got Surge right here. He makes 1.8. If you scroll up a little bit, Mr. George Hill, he makes 4 million. So 4 million and 1.8. That is like almost ironic how close that is to my man Cam Reddish. Isn't that ironic? You know what I'm saying? So that trade could instantly be made today. But the Knicks problem is that they will have to add on a draft pick on it just for that probably. Second round draft picks though, because we're talking about guys that could easily be waived. So if they want a second round pick, I wouldn't mind giving them a second round pick because we got too many to begin with. So I wouldn't mind throwing a second round pick to make that deal work. What is the thought process behind that? Serge Ibaka could play center and he could play power forward. He could shoot the three. He could block shots a little bit. He's going to provide a veteran leadership. He's also a goon off the bench. If you want to talk about somebody that's going to get in the mix in between Julius and players like that, it's Serge Ibaka. Serge Ibaka is going to do that because that's the way he is. Shout out also to George Hill. While Brunson is doing his thing, George Hill could be that guard. That could actually play with him. Also, if you're going to have Quickly out there, George Hill will be a nice guard to have next to Quickly instead of a Miles McBride. Even though Miles McBride is going to bring that defensive intensity, you bring Miles McBride's minutes to 10, but then you give George Hill, by 10, 15 as well, because that veteran leadership, his height, also 6'4", his experience, his ability to knock down the three, and even spot start if Brunson needs a spell. So I mean, these are two things that a lot of guys have been talking about. Shout out to Eddie C. Eddie C was talking about bringing in a backup point guard. He goes Eddie C here to bring up a backup point guard to help us out. So I mean, we were talking about Conley, but George Hill is right on the same thing there. Bargain basement guy. He only makes 4 million. So like I said, George Hill and this guy Serge Ibaka salaries together equal to Cam Reddish by themselves. So now I mean with this conversation here, they added Jordan Narwa to the mix. So add Jordan Narwa to the mix. So let's go back to here. Jordan Narwa makes $3 million. So conveniently also you're talking about basically $6 million, right? And then you add Norwa's contract to that. Now you're getting close to 10, and that equals to what Crowder makes. Crowder makes $10 million. So ironically, this is what's working here in the trade machine here. But same thing. Second round conversation is also going to be a part of this. Whether it be from the Bucks or maybe from Phoenix to the Bucks. So this is all interesting to me, man. So I think I don't want what's the name Phoenix to get this because this is what Phoenix wants. They want to trade Crowder so they can get these guys, but this is all intertwined too. Because what if the Bucks do this deal? If the Bucks do this deal with Phoenix, where they get rid of Crowder and get get a group of guys here, now they have too many players on the roster. Now listen to me. Now you're talking about implementing what Andy's talking about. Because as soon as the Bucks make this deal, like I'm trying to say, listen to me now. If the Bucks make this deal here, which I wish the Knicks can make it. If the Bucks make this deal, then I think the Knicks can make this deal. It might not be for Jay Crowder, but it definitely could be for Mikal Bridges, man. So I mean, some of this will be taken off. If it's gonna be Mikal Bridges by himself, then Evan Fournier, Cam Reddish, maybe Obi, and maybe instead of the first round picks, maybe add second round picks. Then now you're talking. Now you're talking. You know what I'm saying? Because like I'm trying to say, Phoenix likes to get these bargain basement guys so they can move on with their lives. They don't like to pay. They don't like to pay players, so they get these bargain basement guys to fill in spots, and then they take a guy like Mikal Bridges who they already paid. they flip him to get even more talent to come off the bench and stuff like that. So I think this is something that the Knicks can take advantage of. Now this is just me. Like I said, I'm not no expert. Andy's not an expert. Shams is not an expert. You know what I'm saying? If I can so say so phonetically and with such class and dignity, I could say fuck Shams. You know what I'm saying? Fuck what he got to say. He's just a guy that they gave an opportunity to. He's young, good looking, and this, that, and the other, and he speaks well. And they gave him an opportunity to be the face of whatever bullshit they're trying to run over there. Uh, where's he? Who is he working for right now? He works for the Athletic now. He works for the Athletic. So that's all that is. NBA insider. And how do you become an insider? You don't become an insider because or just dramatically coming out of college, you just know everybody. No, they give you the opportunity, whatever. They give you the resources. There's a team of a whole network behind you, and you're the face of it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that is. Woj is essentially the same thing, except Woj has more power, in my opinion. I think Woj definitely has more power over there on ESPN than and there's also a whole video on that. Google Woj and ESPN and the power that he has, and you'll see that on some people made some YouTube videos and stuff like that. It's very interesting. But anyway, this is my thought process here. How did the Knicks get better? We need another player. We need somebody else to fit into this mix here. I'm not talking about trading RJ. I'm not talking about trading Brunson or Julius at this time. We're talking about trading these excess players that don't fit for a guy like Mikal Bridges that absolutely would fit what we're trying to do here. Will he be the end all end? Will he be the end all right now? Of course, we were going to need another move. You know what I'm saying? I would love to get that Bucks move, but if something like this was to happen and we ended up with Mikal Bridges at the end of this, then fantastic. I think that's exactly what we need at that point to get a good steady player like that. Here's a bonus thing here. Check out let's check out another team. Um, I wonder if you guys can guess the team I'm gonna say. Trailblazers. And who's on the Trailblazers, right? Let's scroll down. My man Josh Hart. Josh Hart makes 12.9 million dollars. That's a player that I would love to pluck off that roster. For some reason, the Trailblazers can't win. They have a decent roster too. You're talking about Damian Lillard and Simmons as a starting backcourt. Jeremy Grant and Nurkic in the front court. Josh Hart is good. Gary Payton. Some of these guys here off the bench. Nasir Little. You got Justice Winslow. They got Drew Eubanks. So they have a lot of good players on their roster. Shout out to Trendon Watford, who also is a guy that could probably they should have been upgraded him to the starting power forward. I don't understand what's going on with that. But that's the thing. I don't understand what Portland's doing that they just can't capitalize on the roster, anything that they have going on. So I'm saying Josh Hart is another former Villanova Wildcat. There's a former teammate of Brunson that we could bring Mikal Bridges and Josh Hart over here some kind of way. The Josh Hart situation, I'm not sure how he would do that. But let's say like I say, he makes 12.9, and just right next to him, look at Derrick Rose, who's an expiring contract. You know what I'm saying? Trade Derrick Rose for Josh Hart, and they can waive Derrick Rose, and then he can go about his life, and then we can get Josh Hart on his roster. So we're talking about getting rid of a whole bunch of guys here, and then somehow, like I said, we get Mikal Bridges and Josh Hart on this roster. How much better are the Knicks now? You know what I'm saying? How much better are we? We might be just making lateral moves here, if you want to say that, but at the same time, we're making lateral moves to get winners. Josh Hart has great statistics all across the board, great percentages. He's probably like the best 6'5" rebounder in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? He could defend. He's tough. A winner in college. He's won in college and stuff like that. Like I said, 2 championships with Brunson. So get these guys together in the mix here with New York as a base for us. Just to help out Julius, help out RJ, help these guys learn, help these guys get better. Add draft picks to that. In the draft when the draft comes, possibly even more trades around draft time and stuff like that. So now you're talking about really, really, really building something here. Building a solid base here with guys that are going to be around the age 27 years old. Brunson is 26. Julius is 28 years old right now. You're talking about RJ. He's now 22. So now you're building this little base with guys like around the same age, the same temperament, the same skill level, and things of that nature. So this is incredible to me. So I wish this is my wet dream here, guys. For like I said, for those that didn't like this deal here that Andy brought up that he put on Twitter, you can look at it again right here before we get out of here. You didn't like this deal, But like I said, if the Bucks make this deal, then they'll be more inclined to make a deal like this. Not necessarily for Jay Crowder, because Jay Crowder would be in this Bucks deal here, as you can see, Jordan Norwood, Serge Ibaka, George Hill, and draft considerations for Crowder. Okay, so Crowder's out of here. So that means Mikal Bridges might be possibly available. And the Knicks could pluck him out the sky because they already have a Norwell who can come in there and contribute. And they, like I said, they also have my man Cam Johnson over there. So you got Cam Johnson and Jordan Norwell. So now they have these young guys coming up in the things. So now they might think about trading Mikal Bridges. I'm just throwing it out there, guys. So this is my thought process, man. This is my bars for the day. And I'm feeling pretty good about it, man. It's just something to think about. It's not I'm not no GM. I'm not anything like that. Andy's not a GM either. This is all conversational purposes. Like people say, hey man, I take steroids and stuff like that to get big gains, but I'm not here telling you to take the steroids. You know what I'm saying? And they call it my lab rats. If you want to use it for your lab rat, that's fine, but it's not for human consumption, right? So I mean, this is not this all this is for conversational purposes. Take it for where you wish, for where you what you will. So we got a couple of other guys here too. So you got the Graffin read here, man. You wasn't at work the other day, mister. I don't know what happened to you. You wasn't at work the other day, bro. But we always looking out for you. Was worried about you. Hope everything is good. You're probably at work now, man. So stay out of trouble. Don't get yourself in trouble watching the show. Uh what I see Andy here. Andy's throwing some stuff in there. He said, I see the Knicks fans don't want to give up IQ. So I mean, I wouldn't want to give up IQ either. The Suns need to dump CP3. They need a new backcourt running mate. So that's his process with Devin Booker. So Devin Booker with IQ might be something that they want to do. You never know. But because I painted that picture, the Phoenix Suns don't want to spend money. So them getting IQ in a deal like this makes sense for something that they've been doing historically. Bridges is a perfect player for us. Absolutely. He puts it here. Won't find a better player to fit around Brunson, Randall, Mitch, and RJ. Absolutely. Because this guy, you want to talk about a player that's always going to make the right decision. Mikal Bridges always, 90% of the time, always makes the right decision. The problem with RJ, he doesn't always make the right decision. Problem with Randall, he always doesn't make the right decision. Same thing with Brunson, he doesn't make a right decision. One important thing having to do with Mikal Bridges is he's a good locker room guy, good leader. So he's a good communicator out there on the court. So these are different things that we need out there. Guys that are not afraid of the moment, not afraid to communicate, not afraid to rally within. Without having to hope for Tom Thibodeau to figure it out. Guys like Mikal Bridges, excuse me, can make things happen. Salute to everybody here as the graph is talking about here. Scrolling down, I see Rich Boy. We got somebody named Rich Boy here. So Rich Boy, Knicks management don't know how to make trade, don't know how to make trade, and have an open mind with a variety of trades. Yes, you got to have an open mind. Absolutely. But I think they do. I think they got their ears to everything. So for somebody that's been like one of the greatest sports agents of like the last 20 years or so, during the LeBron James era, he definitely knows everything. He definitely has, his minions out there and stuff like that, his resources and stuff like that. So, I wouldn't hold them to that. But these guys are extremely conservative. They really don't want to blow the Knicks up. But like I said, getting Mikal Bridges for only $21 million, it goes up. But only $21 million, like for the haul that we're giving it up for, it's nothing. And you're talking about building for success. There you go. So I mean, Andy makes a joke here. He says, "Lee, I'm going to give you Reggie Bullock here." You see that's the funny shit. I mean, trading the same guy, Cam Reddish, for Bullock, hell's no, man, hell no. That's not going to make us better at all. So I mean, this guy Reggie Bullock is what Mikal Bridges is. So Reggie Bullock wished that he was Mikal Bridges, or maybe at one point of his career he might have been Mikal Bridges, like maybe like 5 or 6 years ago. You know what I'm saying? But right now, he is who he is, man. This guy is good. This guy, he's not the one, but he could be a part. You know what I'm trying to say? Let me keep scrolling here. I see Corey R. What's good, Corey R? He said in no order. If you was the GM of the Knicks, in no order, who are your tradable players on the team? I say it all the time, man. The tradable players on this team is not Julius, it's not RJ, it's not Brunson. These are your building blocks here, so you want to keep these guys. But I do have something to throw into the wrench that I just thought about just now. That I mentioned it before, but I just got reminded. Those are your three guys, so you want to build with those guys. Mitchell Robinson's a part of that too. reluctantly from my end. I don't because I don't like Mitchell Robinson, but these are your building blocks. You add Mikal Bridges to that. Now you have an even stronger base there with those 5 players. So you don't get rid of those guys. Everybody else that are not being used, those are the guys that you look to trade. Hartenstein, all these guys that are on the roster, you look to move those guys around if you can. Because like I said, I painted the picture earlier in the podcast for those that are just popping in here. The Knicks literally have 40 something million dollars in contracts. We're talking about guys like Cam Reddish, Obi Toppin. They all have team options next year. So the Knicks can basically waive them next year. Then we got guys like Fournier and Rose who makes like 30 something million. Add all that together, you're talking about 40 something million dollars worth of contracts to nothing, to nowhere. So that is how we get better, by manipulating those things. And then we have all these draft picks that we can drop in accordingly to make deals happen. So I think this is a better thing here. I know we should have gotten Donovan Mitchell, but listen, man, we don't. Nobody has a hot tub time machine. And if you had a hot tub time machine, I doubt you would go back to do that trade again. I would go back to get the winning one of those $1 billion megas or Powerballs that was out there. That's what I would do. I would come back with the winning numbers for that and get my money. Rather than go back in time to make a Donovan Mitchell trade. Shout out, this is another player, someone here, Chase Coleman. Uh, we should have picked Mikal Bridges. Yeah, okay, that's a hot tub time machine stuff, man. You can't cry about it. Kevin Knox is Kevin Knox, according to legend, he beat them beat him the two Bridges guys, Mikal Bridges and Miles Bridges, no relation. According to reports that this guy Kevin Knox beat them in the challenge, whatever, in the practice, the head to head. He had a better camp that day. It is what it is. Kevin Knox can shoot the three really well, and he's very athletic. So in a test, I think that Kevin Knox probably would have shown a better thing there in that scenario. But when it comes to games, Mikal Bridges is obviously the better gamer. As far as potential and becoming a superstar, Miles Bridges probably has that. But Kevin Knox is right here. Kevin Knox is probably going to be always on a roster because his athleticism and his ability to shoot the three. Is he ever going to be a part of somebody's rotation? I don't know about that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like I said, hot tub time machine. That's hot tub time machine stuff. Shout out to Paris Duggar. He said, just don't jeopardize getting Donovan Mitchell next summer. He's coming. Man, fuck Donovan Mitchell, man. Excuse me. Him being a free agent and stuff like that. If you want to manipulate the salary cap and stuff to try to get money available for him to get here, then we could do that. But Donovan Mitchell is making peanuts right now. In a free agent situation, he's going to make upwards of $40 to $50 million per year. Sorry, I don't think we could afford that. I just said we have $46 million in like salary that's floating around. So if we was to liquidate that and then use that capital to get Donovan Mitchell here, then who does he play with? Donovan Mitchell with RJ, Julius, Brunson, and Mitch. That sounds good on paper. That does sound good. So I mean, it could work. So it's something that's on the table. I'm not gonna completely shoot it down. But you're looking at something that's it's kind of tough. It's very tough. But it is what it is. Even this scenario about trading and stuff, it's tough as well. But my thing is like whatever Leon rolls, he's too cautious, right? So this leads right into it. Thank you guys for contributing to the chat. This leads right into what I'm saying. Leon, it's Leon. If you're gonna do something, my brother, do it. I think that's what all Knicks fans are saying. Listen, man, whatever you got, whatever the rumors is, bro, whatever it is, just fucking do it. Do something. I think everybody feels the same way when it comes to the Knicks and Leon Rose and stuff like that, man. Cut the BS. If these are the rumors, if this is what's happening, man, do it already. God, it's tired every single night where we're crying about ball movement. Oh, we just didn't make shots tonight. Oh, we just didn't defend the three. Oh, if these guys shot their regular shooting percentages, then we would have won the game. Oh my God. Every single night within the same nonsense. I know everybody's tired of it by now. You gotta be. Here goes Joe Curry, man. Shout out to Joe Curry, big contributor to the Dire Knicks community here. Joe Curry, you interested in being a moderator? Let's see if I can get you another time, man, because I kind of got to get out of here. But he said Fournier, he's the only one that needs to be traded for Crowder. Sarek is another player too. Sarek is another guy that we can get here that can easily fit right behind Julius and provide that backup power forward that we sorely need. So I'm with that, man. Crowder and Sarek on the Knicks, that would be kind of dope as well. But for Fournier alone, I'm not sure if they would do that. Shout out to Jay Boogie, man. Jay Boogie, you can hear his comments, man. He said if they was going to do something Let's do it this week. This week coming up. Next week, that's panic mode. If you find something overpaid for something, I got you, man. I got everything that you're saying. So I mean, it's definitely this is I said is like what Andy said is the 9th, right? February 9th. Today's December 30th. So you're talking about 10 days away. 10 days away for this trade deadline. So this is go time. This is time when you make your money. This is also going to be panic time for us too, Knicks fans. So we got to be very careful with that too, not get so upset. That's one thing about this whole social media thing. You just see everybody's immediate reaction on social media, and it's always annoying, man. It kind of like deflates you. I've been trying to stay away from it a little bit just so I could get my stuff out. Keep my mind clear. Not get jaded by some of the shit that I see all day long. It goes Jalen Brown too. Jalen Brown is the real prize for me. If he was to really waste money in that way, I think Jalen Brown would probably be a little bit better than Donovan Mitchell, just because of his height and his defensive potential. And Sarek is dope. Shout out to Curry R. Big long comment here. This team needs to shake up someone for the starting lineup and able to get a second unit depth after that before the deadline. Here's another scenario too. Like, let's say if he was to make this trade, whatever, if he was to get Mikal Bridges some kind of way, $21 million traded away to bring Mikal here. It leaves roster spots open for guys like Melo and things of that nature. So, okay, here's one thing before we get out of here. So this is my last little point here. Oh, I thought you said I was freezing up. I see freezy. He said, this is Paris Duggar here. You see some Eru. You're talking freezy desperate. Yeah, freezy. Shout out to Freezy, man. Freezy be bugging out sometimes. He says a lot of stuff. I like how he says things, makes me laugh. But Freezy's takes are kind of bugged out a little bit sometimes. But it's all good. We all make bugged out takes. But here's one thing too. If you was to make this trade, let me post it, put it on the screen again. So some kind of way get Mikal Bridges here, even if it's not in this scenario. So let's say if we get Mikal Bridges some kind of way. Um Mikal Bridges now is that either a small forward or shooting guard, depending on what you do. At this point now, would you trade RJ, to Toronto for OG? Now listen. I know people love RJ with all their heart, right? But let's say right now the Knicks got Mikal Bridges in this kind of scenario. Like I said, my scenario here. Let me put it back on the screen again. To recap what I was saying here, if the Bucks do this deal right here, excuse me, if the Bucks do this deal where they trade for Jordan Normal, Serge Ibaka, and George Hill for Jay Crowder, right? And they do that. Now they have enough people to take over for Mikal Bridges and also Cam Johnson on Phoenix, Cam Johnson. Then it leaves it open for us to get Mikal Bridges. So I just painted that scenario. So that's the scenario, right? So now the Knicks have hypothetically, right? The Knicks have Julius, the Knicks have Mikal Bridges, they have Mitchell Robinson, they got Brunson, and then they have RJ still, right? So now what if we take RJ and put him in a deal to get your boy over there, OG? So now you're talking about Julius at the power forward. Now you're talking about OG now is going to be your small forward. Mitchell Robinson there. Now you got Brunson, and now Mikal Bridges is the two guard with Brunson out there. Ooh, are you talking now? Are the same people that love RJ Barrett? Would they be talking now? Would they be talking then? Because now you got your defender. He could rebound. He could post up. He could score a bunch of different ways. He could play defense there at the 3.33 spot, right? So our defense is going to be immaculate up front. Now you slide Mikal Bridges now at the 2, so now you got Brunson and Mikal Bridges in the backcourt. Now Mikal Bridges' defense is probably some of the best in the league. You know what I'm saying? So, so now you're talking about woo. Now you're talking about something, and like I said, trading Derrick Rose to let's say Derrick Rose to Portland, or whatever we can do to make that happen to get Josh Hart here. So imagine having Josh Hart coming off the bench. Quickly still on the roster though. We got to keep Quickly on the roster. So you got Quickly and Josh Hart on the team off the bench. Maybe with Hartenstein is probably still here. Maybe we sign Melo. So is that a championship contending team? Okay, so that's the end of that. I got to get out of here. It's 2:26. Got some things I got to do today, man. But listen, man, it is what it is. You got to get better. We got to get better. How do we get better? Things like this. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, it's your boy Eru. I got to get out of here early. This is a midday on a Monday. Die Hard Knicks podcast. Your boy Die Hard Eru. Maybe every Monday I'll do this. We'll see. It's my life is kind of bugged out. I literally put this out at 1:20 and I went on at 1:30. I set it up. I didn't even make a thumbnail. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. It's your boy Eru. Die Hard Knicks podcast. Salute to everybody in the chat. Salute to Annie for the good idea. To get the juices flowing. Shout out to Shams for his bullshit. Shout out to Fanspo. Shout out to what's his basketball reference and everybody in the chat. Shout out to Jay Boogie and everybody that's associated with you guys, man. And Nick Nation, I'm out of here. See you guys next time. Enjoy the outro. That's your boy Trav Ryan with the Die Hard Knicks theme song. Goodbye.
Eru, I see you. Die Hard. Trav. We gonna do this one the right way. We in here forever. Yeah. Die hard, homie, die hard. You can check the swag, he the realest by far. Swimming in that blue and orange, he the lifeguard. Yeah, he been through pain, at least he got some nice scars. He can smell the trophy, yeah, you need it back to back. Represent himself, his own name is on his back. 10 toes down, try to stop him, he come back. Bandwagon hoppers, he will knock you off your tracks. You ain't saying nothing, Nero been here from the start. He been working in the lab to take his team and make it art. See him going over film to help him build and make him smart. He will tell you how he feels because he's real and he got heart. He will never fade away, he will never change his face. Everybody picking faves and he's feeling out of place. Cause he is for the team and he always rep the squad. Like that Christmas movie, he gon' always die hard. City on my back. They ask me what's my name and it's on my back. I'm just speaking facts. We got big dreams, we ain't looking back. We be really die hard, yeah, that's a fact. We be really die hard, ain't no going back. Make the whole crowd rise like a thermostat. Fourth quarter, I'm the killer.